Scientology Inc. gets away with a lot of criminal acts. In fact, it's been a 40-year crime wave. And so little of it gets reported to law enforcement. One of the reasons why is this policy letter, which I'm going to show you here. It's considered an antisocial suppressive act to ever report the cult to law enforcement, to ever report the cult to government or media. It's listed as not only a crime, but a high crime. 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 So it's instant disconnection, shunning. If you report to a government agency, you're toast. You will lose your children, you will lose all the friends and family you ever had. Remember, in Scientology, they cut you off more and more, so your only connections are in.
What if you get disappeared someday, Angel?
Sir,
what if you get disappeared someday? I'm just saying. Or what if you are used to like take someone away? You're the one who makes someone disappear and then later they come after you in a war crimes kind of way. You know, Angel, you've done some bad things in security. They've had you do some bad things sometimes that could come up in court later.
And if you dare, even if it's a criminal act, this is obstruction of justice. Because you are educated and indoctrinated to not turn in to the cult rape, molestation, assault and battery, theft, irregular financial. It's classic for the cult of Scientology to bill your credit card on unauthorized charges. They've done this for years. They lost their American Express privileges at the Flag FSO for doing it so flagrantly. They got it back after some years, but they've done these kind of financial theft for years. Who reports it to law enforcement? No one. Why? There's a baton over your head. If you report us to law enforcement, you will be fair game. That means you can be lied to, cheated, destroyed, literally destroyed. That's Hubbard's policy.
Actually did escape a couple of times. One time I got out and I made it from where the complex is. I made it from there all the way down to the 101 freeway with the security guards chasing me. And eventually they gave up and they got in a car. They had the security car and followed me. And I ran down and got on the freeway.
You ran onto the 101 freeway?
Yeah, I was running along the side of the freeway, and a highway patrol officer stopped. And,
wow.
You know, was talking to me. And
did you tell him you're trying to escape from the Church of Scientology?
I just said, I'm trying to get home. I need to get to Newport Beach. That's where my mother is.
Did you tell him you were escaping from the Church of Scientology?
No, I didn't. It didn't get that far because right at that moment, as soon as this guy pulled up, so did the security guards from the church. And one of the security guards got with the highway patrol officer, and the other one got with me. The one that was with me was telling me, "Oh, you don't want to go with this guy. You know, they'll take you, they'll throw you in jail. Pretty soon they'll have you with the psychiatrist and you'll be stuck in a nightmare, you know." And I'm thinking, well, I'm in a nightmare right now, you know. What's the difference?
Wow, that's amazing. You escaped from this lockdown and ran to the 101. Wow.
Anyway, so they talked me into to coming back there.
Over the years, the Church of Scientology has had more than its fair share of adult members who have sexually abused minors. Alex was one such victim. Here's how Karen related this to me.
Alexander Jensch was having sexual intercourse at 12 years old at the Flagline base. I only ever knew that after I came out. That's probably one of the reasons they wanted to keep Alexander well away from me. The reason he got out of the Flagline base was he'd had sex, and what they do is get them out of jurisdiction of the police. Many people speculated that one of the reasons they kept him away from Heba was the fact of this sex. And you know, the girl, the 40-year-old who was having intercourse with Alexander, is currently an OSA operative.
Alex remained in the Sea Org and never spoke about this incident to his mother or anyone else. The one and only priority of the Office of Special Affairs is to ensure that word of such incidents as this never make it out to the public. The way this is done is to separate the offenders and make it clear to them that they are the ones to blame for what happened.
You had a particularly horrible experience on the ship of being molested.
Yes.
What happened?
Actually, I had it at Flag first.
Oh, what happened
when I
there?
was 15. Okay, so like I was a steward, so I would, at that point, I had to like stand in the kitchen all day in case COB wanted something, and like doing admin stuff. And me and him would go there early in the morning because he would have to set up the office, and I would have to clean all the offices. And he, for 3 months straight, because I didn't have the guts to report him, he would come in there and he would, and I hate talking about this stuff because it's so degrading, but he would like lift me up and rub himself against me.
So grind his crotch into you.
Yes. And then he did it to another girl called, and she wrote a KR on him. So I was like, oh, she had the guts to do it. So I did as well, and nothing happened to him. Nothing. It's always like, you pulled it in and you must have 2D flowed him, or like you did something wrong and that's why it happened to you.
You know, see, this is part of what some have described as the rape culture of Scientology.
Yeah.
That the idea that if a woman is, or a teenager, young girl is molested, they pulled it in.
Yes, it was my fault.
Because the entire game of Scientology is to blame you, the staff member or the public. You have crimes, you have transgressions, you have evil intentions. The cult will never acknowledge a single action that they did that was out of line, that broke the law. They literally consider themselves angels.
You know, Angel, you've done some bad things in security. They've had you do some bad things sometimes.
They consider themselves God. They consider themselves unable to commit a crime, but they reek in crime. There isn't a day that goes by when Scientology doesn't do a cover-up of something which any law enforcement agent would tell you was criminal.